Today, students, we are doing lesson 2.1 from English Bal Bharati textbook for Standard 8th. Vocation, a poem written by Rabindranath Tagore. In this poem, the poet Rabindranath Tagore depicts a child's innocent mind of believing what he sees at face value. The poem describes a child's immense desire and yearning for freedom that he sees in the lives of people working around him, unaware of the hardships that these people face. So come along then, let's read and understand this beautiful poem written by Rabindranath Tagore. This video was made just for you. Do remember to like, share and subscribe. Let's understand the warm-up exercise that they have given before the poem. Pick out the words that refer to means of living. What do you mean by means of living is to live. What are the different things we require? Isn't it? We require clothes, we require food, we require water. So all this is fulfilled by the various jobs or occupation or professions that we follow, and fill them in the web. So they have given us a web over here, and here are the helping words: profession, recreation, occupation, job, pastime, employment, hobby, career, entertainment, mission, trade, business, sports, retirement, placement. So fill up all these things which require for it is a means of living. So for living we require them. Now let's go to the second question. Using a good dictionary, find the shades of difference in the following. Okay, profession, vocation, business and occupation. Now all these words relate to the same thing. They relate to occupation, profession, that is the kind of work that we do. But there is a slight difference in each of these words. So open the dictionary and please find these words. Now, the third is the figure of speech that is given. When a word is formed from a sound associated with it, it is called an onomatopoetic word. Okay, so this is a word which is associated with sound. So as soon as you hear that word, you can, picturize or imagine that sound. For example, bang. So when you hear the word bang, you can imagine that sound in your mind. Other words are tap, tinkle, crash, whistle, etc. So if an onomatopoetic word occurs in the lines of a poem, the figure of speech in that line is onomatopoeia. So write down 8 to 10 onomatopoetic words on your own. So you can take the help of the dictionary and think about various words that you find, okay, which relate to the sound. So as soon as you utter that word, you can imagine the sound. And to find the answers or to check your answers to all these questions, you can visit our website at www.jkacademypro.com. You'll get the link in the description box below. First, let us understand the word vocation. Now, during the warm-up exercise, you learnt a lot of words associated with, the occupation or the kind of job that people have to do as a means of living, as a means of livelihood. So, let us understand the word vocation. The vocation is a profession or occupation, or it means that the work that a person undertakes, which gives him a great happiness and fulfillment, but at the same time it demands special commitment. So any work that a person undertakes on his free will, which the person enjoys a lot, but it also requires a lot of commitment and dedication. And it also means that some profession you do to help the society, the people in the society. Many of the people do take up religious to be religious, devoted to religion. So they take that as a vocation. sometimes they do some social work, so that they take it as a vocation. So your profession also could be a vocation. Okay, so if you do something for the good of the people, something for the good of the society, then your profession becomes your vocation. So anything that you do to help others is called a vocation. Now let's read the poem and understand it. So when the gong sounds 10 in the morning, and I walked to school by a lane. So here the poet, who is a little boy, is saying that when the gong sounds 10, gong, what is a gong? Gong is a flat metal bell rung to draw people's attention. Okay, so it is a flat bell, it is piece of metal wherein you bang on it. So most of the schools in the olden days had this gong, okay, as a bell. Nowadays you have electric bells in your school, but this gong was made, and so what it has happened is at 10 the gong was made, and what the poet had to do, the little boy, he had to walk to school by a lane. So it was a fixed routine for him, isn't it? Your school life is also a routine. You wake up, and then you have to go to school at a particular time. You have to go to maybe some tuition classes, then extracurricular classes, then you have to complete your homework assignments, and then you have to eat, and it's time to go to bed. So this is what the routine life happens day in, day out, isn't it? So here the boy is saying he woke at 10 in the morning. So 10 o'clock in the morning the gong sounds, and he has to walk to school every day by a lane. So the same lane he has to take. Every day I meet the hawker crying, bangles, crystal bangles. So every day as he is going to his school in that same lane, he finds a hawker. Who is a hawker? Hawker is a person who sells his things on by traveling on the roadside, or maybe some place. Okay, he doesn't have a fixed shop, so he travels from one place to the other carrying his things. Okay, so he doesn't place it at a fixed place, so he may be just carrying it maybe through a hand cart, or through carrying it in a basket or any container on his head. So that person is called a hawker. So he crying means shouting out loud, bangles, crystal bangles. So here we see that the little boy meets the hawker every day. And who is this hawker? He is the bangle seller. So there are bangle sellers who sell bangles to women. So women wear them. They buy the bangles and they wear them. Colorful bangles. So, and different kinds of bangles. Bangles of plastic, bangles of glass, bangles of metal. So he is crying, bangles, crystal bangles. Now what is crystal? Crystal is a kind of a glass material. So he has got crystal bangles. Okay, so he is selling crystal bangles. So here he is shouting out and walking away. So that is how the boy meets the hawker every day. There is nothing to hurry him on. There is no road he must take, no place he must go to, no time when he must come home. So here, as he is watching and listening to the hawker, the poet or the little boy is reflecting on the hawker's life, and he realizes that this particular hawker has nothing to hurry him. He doesn't have to hurry, he doesn't have to reach on time, he doesn't have to do things at a particular time. So he is reflecting on it. So why does he feel it? If you look at every child's life, a child's life is fixed. He wakes up at a particular time, he has to get dressed, he has to reach school, then complete all the, go through the periods of the various day. At a particular time, the bell rings, he has to reach back home on time, isn't it? So he has to reach school on time, he has to reach home on time. So all this thing is very, very time fixed for him. But here he finds that the hawker is in no hurry. He doesn't have to reach anywhere, any place on time. So there is nothing to hurry him on. There is no road he must take. There is nothing. He can travel any road, anything, anywhere he wants. He can go to this road or that road. He can sell his things this side, that side, to this one, that one, anyone. But if you compare it to the child's life, the child is busy. He has to go through a particular road only. He can't go, wavering around or, taking a different route that will delay him. Okay, so he has to take a particular route and reach school on time, everything. So here he is reflecting on the hawker's life, and he's saying there is no road he must take, no place he must go to. So he can go to any place. He can sit here today and sell his things. He can sit there today and tomorrow and sell his things. But not with the case of the little child. The little child has to go to school, has to return back home on time. So he has all the particular times fixed. So here he is telling that the hawker, that is the bangle seller, has no place he must go to, no time when he must come back home. So here again there is no time, no, even if he is little late or if he is little early to reach back home, there is nobody to shout or scream or get worried about, isn't it? If you are late even by a few minutes, your mom or the person at home will be worried, and they will say, what happened, where is my child gone? So here there is nothing, nobody to worry him. He can go home anytime he wants. As the little child is reflecting on the bangle seller's life, he wishes that I wish I were a hawker, spending my day in the road crying. Bangles, crystal bangles. Okay, so as he's looking at the hawker's life, and he says that he has nowhere to hurry about, nowhere to go, he can go any place, any time. Okay, he can return home at any time. Okay, nobody to worry about him. So, and he also has no worries about, completing the work on school studies. So as children now, y'all also may be feeling, no, what a life we have as children. Wish we were, working so we can have fun, we can go to work, come back from office and relax. If you see your parents, mummies or daddies working, and you say, they come back and they relax and they've got nothing else to do. They have to just go to work, come back. Okay, it is not so easy as you think. Okay, so each one's life is full of hardships, that is full of problems. But here the boy is not aware. Okay, here the boy is looking at the hawker and he sees him every day, and he finds that the hawker comes at any time, he sits at any place he wants, he travels any place he wants, so he can do whatever he wants. He can come at any time, go at any time, go to any place. So here he wishes that he were a hawker, and he says, spending my day on the road crying, bangles, crystal bangles. So he's feeling very excited. You have to just go around the place and scream and sell your things. So easy, so such a contented life, so nice, isn't it? So that is what the boy is feeling, and he wishes that he is a hawker selling things on the road. When at 4 in the afternoon I come back from the school. So now here the poet is saying that when at 4 in the afternoon, so he has gone, he has seen the bangle seller in the morning, he wished to be a bangle seller, and now he has gone to school, he has done his studies, and it's time to return back home after school. So at 4 in the afternoon, that is late in the afternoon, at 4 his school leaves and it is time to go back go back home from school. So he is returning back, and when he is returning back, what does he see? I can see through the gate that house, the gardener digging the ground. So through the gate he can see a house, and near the house there is a gardener and he is digging the ground. That's the work of the gardener, isn't it? To take care of the plants, to dig the soil, to plant new saplings, to take care of the other plants. So that is the gardener's job. So this is what the boy sees when he is returning from school, and what he feels. So here you are seeing that the gardener, so he does what he likes with his spade. So here, what is a spade? Spade is a garden tool that the gardener has to use in order to dig the soil. So here he is doing what he likes, isn't it? Gardening is what the gardener has to do, and he likes that, and so he is digging the soil with his spade. He soils his clothes. Now the word soil means not the mud means the soil, okay, the soil of the earth, but here soils means he is dirtying his clothes. Okay, his clothes get dirty with dust. So isn't it the gardener's job is to work with the soil? So naturally his clothes will get dirty. So he soils his clothes with dust. Nobody takes him to task. So here the poet or the little boy is feeling that nobody is taking him to task. Taking him to task means nobody is scolding him or correcting him and telling him not to do that, So he's saying nobody is telling him anything. He is soiling his clothes, he's dirtying his clothes with dust, and yet there is no one to scold him. He's doing what he likes. If he gets baked in the sun or gets wet, so baked in the sun means the gardener has to work in the sun. So when you are working in the sun, you sweat and you get tanned. Tanned is this color of your skin changes. So that is called the baked in the sun. And he has to get wet. He has to put a lot of water in the soil. So he gets wet with that, and there is nobody to scold him. So this is what the little child is seeing as he is returning back from home. Maybe, he himself wants to do that. He wants to get dirty in the soil, play with the mud. All children love to do that, isn't it? You also, all of us love to play in the soil, run about, dig something, pull out something. So as children, we want to do a lot of things in the mud and soil. But our parents scold us. Mummy is always scolding. Why did you dirty your clothes? Can't you see you are still in your school uniform? You have dirtied your school uniform and it will get spoiled and it will get dirty. So why have you been in the sun? You'll get a sunstroke. So being in the sun also for too long is not good if you're not used to it. So your mom will scold you and she'll tell you may get a sunstroke. Sunstroke is, when the heat of the sun is too much, a person may feel giddy. Okay. And is not allowed to get wet, because gardening means you have to put a lot of water and water may splash onto you. So he's not allowed to get wet also. So all this he remembers that I am not allowed to do. And here is a person who is doing and enjoying what he loves to do, and nobody to scold him to if he soils his clothes, or he is getting baked in the sun, or if he is getting wet. Now, as he is looking at the gardener and he feels that such nice, great thing, the gardener, so nice to do what you like. So he wishes and he says that I wish I were a gardener digging away at the garden with nobody to stop me from digging. So here now he is wishing that he is a gardener. Earlier we had seen that when he saw the hawker on the road and he found the hawker's job so nice, just go anywhere you want, start selling, screaming bangles, crystal bangles, so nice, isn't it? So I wish I were a hawker. But now when he sees a gardener, getting dirty in the soil, putting mud here and there and doing what he loves to do, getting wet, getting baked in the sun, and nobody to tell him anything, so nice. So now he wishes that he was a gardener and he can keep digging throughout the day, being in the sun, out in the sun, being in the soil, getting wet, so much fun. And the best part of it, he feels that nobody to stop me. So nobody is going to stop me from doing the job that I have to do. So that is what he says, nobody can stop me from digging. Just as it gets dark in the evening and my mother sends me to bed. So now after watching the gardener, he comes inside his house and he does all his work, and then it is late in the evening. Maybe he has finished off his dinner and now his mom is telling him, go to bed. Isn't it? Your parents also put you off to sleep early, because the next day again you'll have to wake up and you have to go through the routine, your daily routine of going to school, completing your assignments, going to classes. Okay, so all those have to be done on time, isn't it? So therefore your parents also put you off to sleep early. So here it has become dark in the evening and his mother sends him to bed, saying go to bed now. And when he is in his room, I can see through my open window the watchman walking up and down. So he notices something. So he's watching out of the window. And what does he see? He sees that there is a watchman and he's just walking up and down. Okay, so that is what the sight he sees late in the evening when he is just about to go to bed. And he says, the lane is dark and lonely, and the street lamp stands like a giant with one red eye on its head. Okay, so here what does the little child see? He sees that the lane is dark. What is a lane? Lane is a small street. Okay, so small street that is there, and it is dark and lonely. Lonely because it is late in the night. Now there are hardly any people moving around. So it is late in the dark night, and so it is dark and lonely. And the street lamp, no, in the city we have street lights, but in the olden days they used to put lamps. Okay, and what does he feel about the lamp? So he is thinking the lamp to be like a giant with one red eye. So he's imagining the lamp to be a giant. Who's a giant? Giant is a a make believe character who is really big and fierce. We see it in fairy tales and all that. So like a giant with one red eye. So that giant has only one red eye. Why? What is a red eye? Red eye is the light reflecting in the lamp. Okay, so he has compared the lamp to a giant with one red eye on its head, in his head. So that is what he is feeling. So this is the sight he sees. He sees a watchman walking up and down, and there is nobody on the street. The lane is very dark and lonely, and there is street light. Okay, so there is a street lamp that is giving away the light, and he looks at the lamp and he feels it is like a giant. Okay, to a small child, a lamp will look very big, isn't it? So he's still a child, and he feels that it is a giant with one red eye. The watchman swings his lantern and walks with his shadow at his side, and never once goes to bed in his life. So here the little boy is seeing the watchman. He's swinging his lantern. Swing means he's moving his lantern. And what's a lantern? Lantern is a small lamp that the watchman has it because the lane is lonely and dark. So he needs some light. No, the street light will be there at one particular place. But as he is moving up and down, he raises the light everywhere he goes. So he's carrying a small little lantern in his hand, and as he walks with a swing. Swing is moving around his arm. So the lantern in the hand also swings, isn't it? So here the little boy is saying the watchman swings his lantern and walks with his shadow at his side, isn't it? Because he has a lantern in his hand and there is a street light also. So wherever there is a light, so there is a shadow cast, isn't it? So his shadow is by his side. Of course, our shadow always travels with us, no? So here the little boy is seeing that the watchman, he has to just swing the lantern, walk up and down with his shadow by his side, and never once goes to bed in his life. So he says that he is never going to bed because he sees that the watchman is always awake in the night, throughout the night, isn't it? The watchman has to be awake throughout the night. So here the little boy with his innocent reflection sees that, arey, so nice, the watchman doesn't even have to go to sleep. Okay, nobody to tell him to go to sleep. Okay, because his mom has sent him to bed. So your also parents tell you, come on, go to bed, sleep on time, and you crib, you cry, isn't it? Saying, mama, please, 5 more minutes, isn't it? Sometimes you scream and you make a tantrum, you cry, saying, but your mom and your parents are very adamant. They tell you, no, come on, go off to sleep. So here he feels that the watchman is never sleeping, nobody telling him to go off to sleep. Okay, so he's wondering what is happening. And now after seeing the watchman, he wishes that he is a watchman. So he says, I wish I were a watchman, walking the street all night, chasing the shadows with my lantern. So here now he is wishing that he is a watchman. He feels, the watchman's life is also so nice. Just walk up and down and nobody telling you to go to bed. So he says, I wish I were a watchman and I would also walk the street all night chasing the shadows. Now what do you mean by chasing the shadows? Chasing the shadows here means imaginary goal. You plan something that you want to do this, you want to do that, you want to achieve this. This is what you want to complete in life. So by just reflecting. So he says the watchman has nothing to do. He has to just go up and down and he has to just plan his goals. He just have to think about his goals, what he wants to do in life. That's it. Okay. And with the lantern in hand. So he has a lantern, so nothing to fear about. There is light in his hand. So this is what the poet is feeling and reflecting about it. So Here we see that the child is seeing three different people at three different times of the day, namely the morning, noon, and night, and is highly fascinated by the independence they enjoy in their life. And he too wants to be independent and not be tied down with the time to do particular work at a particular time, or be scolded at, or be shouted at, or be told to do go to bed on time, wake up on time. So all that he doesn't want, but he is very very fascinated by the people that he sees around him. Students, do solve the English workshop given to you at the end of the lesson. Solve all the exercises given here, and to check your answers you can visit our website at www.jkacademypro.com. You'll get the link in the description box below.